Smith, there's been a lot flying around on the internet in regards to, that slap that you gave to the unformidable Chris Rock, physically unformidable person, yeah? I'm sure you regret it. You've already apologized. I'm not speaking about the morality or immorality of that. I want to dig deeper into something which I feel is at the crux of the issue, which I think may be, okay, and I'm not trying.
Wait, let's guess. What is he going to tell? This is directed at Will Smith, and he's going to say that there's something deep rooted about at the root of this problem. What is it going to be? It can't be as upfront about maybe you haven't accepted Islam. Is he going to, guys? What do you think? Do you think he's going to invite Will Smith to Islam in this video? That would be too upfront, but he has been very upfront. Okay, we'll see. He might. I'm going to give it a 60% chance that he's going to invite Will Smith to Islam. But what is he going to say? What is the problem? What is the main problem with Will Smith? I'm going to try to guess. Is it insecurity? He's going to talk about insecurity, about his role as a man in a family, probably, right? He's gonna say Will's wife is no. I don't think he's gonna do that. Okay, so let's think about this. Okay, he probably makes these videos hoping that the celebrity notices it, and eventually he's gonna invite him to come and talk to him. Okay, so this is my main prediction, is that he's going to invite Will Smith to come and talk to him on his channel. Okay, so he's not going to say anything disrespectful, so to make sure that there's a potential for him coming on. Okay, so that's my guess. But so that's why he probably, actually, now that I think about it, he's probably not going to invite him to Islam. So I'm going to bring that maybe to 50%. But he's going to say something nice about him. He's not going to say something. He's not going to, because the potential of Will Smith coming and talking to him has to remain. So he's not going to say anything that is going to upset him. So what is he going to say? Is he going to say about, he's going to butter him up about how successful he is and how people look up to him, maybe? And maybe talk about how, with the problems that will cause, and there's a solution for that. Okay, there you go. He's going to try to tell him there is a way to solve this, all these things that you're feeling about not being good enough. Okay, there we go. He's going to push on the fact that he's going to push on the idea that Will Smith, no matter, he's chasing all these things, but he's not feeling happy and content, because he always feels like he has to do more because he's not good enough. He's trying to prove something to everybody, and it keeps backfiring. And he's going to maybe try to tell him that there's a way to satisfy that desire more easily without having to chase all these dreams. Okay, and Mohammed Hijab knows what it is, and maybe they could talk about it. That would be the smart thing to say in order to tease him to come talk to Mohammed Hijab. There you go.
Diagnose you particularly, but I'm just putting out there.
Okay.
An issue of cognitive dissonance that you actually have. Now, cognitive dissonance, for those who don't know.
Oh, here's another thing. Qasim is saying he will endorse his Ghairat. That's a good one, Qasim. Maybe he's going to be like, this whole idea of feeling honor over trying to keep your honor because your wife was insulted. He will endorse that. Ghairat is that basically that idea. Okay. So maybe if he endorses that and legitimizes that as a valid feeling to have, that would be another good way to kind of make it easier for for Will Smith, if he sees this, to like this video and maybe want to come talk to him. Norse mythology is saying, just play the video and we'll get it to 100%. Where's the fun in that? If you wanted to just see the video, you could just watch it on Mohammed Hijab's channel. We're just trying to see if we could understand what's going on here before it ever happens. We're trying to be able to analyze things.
Where you have,
if you just want to see the video, then why are you here? Just watch the video. It's right there. You could just watch it on Mohammed Hijab.
Conflicting attitudes or beliefs about something, right? Which causes you uncomfort from a psychological perspective. Now, what exactly am I talking about? Look, think about it, right? You probably are a consumer of feminist ideology. And the reason why I say that is because you're in an open relationship with a woman
Based
who's Jada, who's spoken openly and candidly about polyamory.
Wait, I don't know. Actually, it's not that base. I don't know if you could call it an open relationship if you have been dragged kicking and screaming into an open relationship. Okay, that's not a real open relationship. Okay, so that's if for people who are into or like maybe looking at open relationships, this whatever you're watching with Will Smith, that's not a good example of it.
And Jada, who's spoken openly and candidly about polyamory and all these kind of things. So obviously that discourse is antithetical to, say, a nuclear family setting or arrangement where you have a typical, let's say, traditional roles of males and females. The man is the breadwinner, the woman is the whatever she is, or she may have more than one role, but that there is some kind of a managerial hierarchy within the household where the man is at the top of that hierarchy. You see, in the traditional roles, you have a managerial hierarchy, and the man has responsibilities, say the responsibilities of protection, breadwinning, and so on.
Protection. See, maybe he's going to endorse the fact that you were feeling protective over your wife. This is a traditional way of looking at families. So your feelings were, oh, there you go. He's going to say your feelings were valid. You have been misled by this feminist ideology to think that this is not an okay feeling to have. But even with all that feminist brainwashing, you see how strong traditional feelings are based on reality and based on natural emotions, and you experience that feeling coming and taking over you, even and being able to defeat all that feminism, all that brainwashing is not going to be able to change that, because that's what our true nature is. Like maybe go that line.
In exchange, the man has rights, okay, as well, for that breadwinning and for that protection, which are, for example, that the man is to be respected as the, let's say, commander-in-chief, the final decision maker in certain things. And that, of course, there's exclusivity on behalf of the woman, okay, in the relationship.
Only the woman. I'm glad he clarified exclusivity. I'm like, wait, what? This is Islam we're talking about. On behalf of the woman. There you go. That's Islam.
And in some cultures, including the Islamic culture, which I come from, polygyny is allowed. Polygyny meaning that a man can marry multiple women, but a woman, that she cannot do that.
Yeah, see, isn't that great, Will Smith? I know you're like suffering from your wife being in an open relationship. In Islam, you get to do that, and she doesn't. Isn't that nice?
So this is the kind of dynamic that we're talking about when we talk about traditional family roles. Obviously, traditionalism is different depending on where you go or what you do. However, what I want to say to you is, think about this for a second, Will Smith, yeah? You got up and slapped a man, okay? Now, I'm not talking about, once again, the morality of it. The point that you felt the need to protect Jada, your partner.
I was right.
Why do you feel a need to protect her?
Oh, I was right. He's gonna say the desire that you had to protect her. This speaks to the nature of how men are supposed to be. This is an endorsement of traditional. Like, tradition is based on reality. Feminism and modernity are against it.
This is my question. Because if you consume a second wave feministic discourse, then it's not about protecting the woman. Because really, protection should be split 50-50. A woman should be able to protect herself. In fact, she should be downrightly, right, appalled at the fact that you, by standing up, doing what you did, that she feels the need to be protected.
Oh, so not only you had legitimate feelings, because it speaks to the true nature of how men and women are supposed to be. She was also having legitimate feelings, because she was like not upset that you went out and protected her. So both of you, deep down inside, understand the natural role of men and women. Both of you understand that. With all that brainwashing of feminism, you still understand the validity of traditional roles of men and women. Is that so? Well, he went beyond. Both of you have valid feelings.
Because as a feminist, as a person who believes in equal rights, then she should get up herself. Why did she even look at you? I mean, this famously, she looked at you in a certain way.
Oh, she expected you to protect her. Isn't she like a strong woman? Why was she looking at you to go protect her?
And you felt an expectation. But here, therein lies the issue, because therein shows the inconsistency. In a way, you need to feel like you need to uphold traditional roles.
Guys, I did it. This is perfect. I am a Muslim mind reader. That's what I am. I am a Muslim mind reader.
The like of which I've already elaborated upon, which can take more than one form in permutation. But at the same time, you feel the need to acquiesce and capitulate to a feministic discourse, which indicates equality in all cases. But it's like, in this case, you are conflicted between two different paradigms. The traditionalist paradigm, which says that the man is the protector and that he ought to protect the woman and so on, and the feministic paradigm, which doesn't have any of that. And we're seeing the collapse.
Yes, guys. By the way, feminism is when your wife is being attacked, you don't feel a need to protect her. That's called feminism, according to Mohammed Hijab.
As a tangent here, and I'll come back to the point of the feministic paradigm when it comes to the Ukraine issue right now, which I haven't spoken about because I'm not an expert on it. You'll realize I haven't released any videos because, you know, I don't want to have a half-baked analysis on anything, right? But the point is, with one thing about the Ukraine issue is that men are being forced to fight for their country and women and children can leave.
They're like, what happened to your equality? What happened to your gender equality?
But where are the feminists to say, in fact, this shouldn't be the case because there should be equality, yeah, with men and women in this case, in terms of military, putting your life on the, literally putting your life on the line.
I mean, come on, which feminists say that? It depends on your brand of feminism, okay? Because a lot of feminists do not go to this level. There are many feminists who do not claim there needs to be equality of outcome, okay? There just needs to be equality of opportunity, okay? So, not hashtag not all feminists, Mohammed Hijab. And I mean, like, for example, if you have equality of opportunity, right? You would assume that, oh, yeah, everybody has the opportunity, but men who have like more physical strength are more likely to go into armed combat. So the way I would say, I would think would be legitimate way to do it is not for you to be like, oh, men go into the army and women don't have to. Like, here are the criterias. If you could pass it, you get to join in the army. And the criterias involve, for some activities in the army, not all of it, requires for you to pass physical strength, test. And if you happen to be a woman who can pass it, then good job, you're in. But just because there's physical test requirements, more men will pass it than women. So there would be equal opportunity. Okay. But you might also say, like, okay, but given that we didn't have time to test, to have people go through tests, we can just assume that it would be mostly men that would be good for this job, but because we just don't have time right now to test everybody. Okay. So that would make sense at that time.
So we're seeing an inequality there.
But I don't know if that's even true anymore. Like, do we need physical strength for the current warfare? Like, it's not like people are picking up swords and axes and stuff like that. And, like the stuff that they're carrying to like take out the tanks. What are they called? I forgot. They're pretty cool. Like, they're not that heavy, I'm assuming. So I think I agree that maybe in the military, the divide between men and women being able to do the job should stop. If it still exists, it should be removed at some point.
Right. Or an inconsistency there in feministic discourse. It shows the entitlement that feministic discourse actually brings to the table. It's not.
Are there actually no feminists that would say, like, yes, we agree, women should be taking part? Like, did anybody check? Like, people are like, oh, where are the feminists that wanted equality between men and women? Like, did they actually went and checked that maybe there are feminists? Did they ask a feminist? Because maybe the feminists would be like, yeah, we think like women should be able to fight and defend Ukraine. Like, you just assume that we would say no? Did you ask us?
about actual equality that they want to see manifest in the political, social, and economic sphere, as they claim. It's in fact a matter of getting as much as you can through entitlement as possible. And this is what I think is happening in your relationship, by the way. Yeah. So you are conflicted between the traditionalist protective role, get my wife's name out of your effing mouth. Why do you feel the need to say that very loudly? Why? Because you feel like you need to protect her. But once again, the protective aspect of a relationship, yeah, is not required in a feministic relationship.
Okay, you said that
If
already.
you're walking in the street and someone tries to fight Jada, she should fight. She should defend herself. She should defend.
Is that really feminism though? Feminism is like, oh yeah, I'm being robbed. I want to ask for help, but I'm a feminist. Feminists can't ask for help. Like there's a strong man over there, and I could like shout, I'm like, hey sir, please help me. I'm being robbed. But I'm a feminist and I believe women be strong. So I should be able to defend myself. So I'm not gonna ask that man for help. Is that really feminism? Which feminists believe that? I think this is a major straw man of feminism.
Defend herself. This should be what it is. I want to give you another thought experiment. Now, assume it wasn't Chris Rock that was speaking on the, that you slapped or you hurt him. Yeah. Assume it was a woman that you slapped.
I assume like feminism was like, can I also be able to vote, please? Thank you very much. I thought that is feminism, not like I'm not gonna ask for help from a strong man while I'm being robbed. I think that's a very different thing.
Assume it was a woman comedian, yeah, like she was on there and then you slapped her. I believe that the social reaction of these feminist lefty people, that I've seen a lot of their kind of articles to see the social reactions, yeah, would have been completely different.
What?
Like the fact that many feminists have not considered this, yeah, or lefties or whatever, people on the left in American politics that have put on these opinion, we've seen these kind of like, New York Times opinion articles and so on. We've seen these kinds of things, yeah, where it's not being condemned in the way that it should be, but the question is why, or sometimes even apologetic way.
Wait, what happens if you were a
like the fact that many feminists have not considered this. Yeah, she was on there and then you slapped her. I believe.
Wait, is he saying if it was a woman, you wouldn't be condemned? Am I misunderstanding?
That the social reaction of these feminist lefty people that I've seen a lot of their kind of articles to see the social reactions, yeah, would have been completely different.
Well, yeah.
Like the fact
different
that
how
many feminists have not considered this, yeah, or lefties or whatever, people on the left in American politics that have put on these opinion. We've seen these kind of like, New York Times opinion articles and so on. We've seen these kinds of things, yeah, where it's not being condemned in the way that it should be, but the question is why.
What's not being condemned? What the hell?
Or sometimes even apologetic way that a person shouldn't. I've read one time a person shouldn't accept a joke or something like that. Someone was writing this in a newspaper. The reason why is because deep down, even feminists realize, as with the Ukraine issue,
wait, what was his example? If you slapped a woman, the reaction would be different, and people are not condemning that. Well, people are condemning him. It wouldn't be condemned the same way. I mean, he is being condemned by most people. I don't understand, but what is this point? Can somebody decode this for me? Oh yeah, PK saying feminism does not discard gender differences. Yeah, exactly. It only asks for individual women not to be restricted to a certain role in society. Yeah, it's not like ignoring the differences. Feminism is not ignoring the differences between men and women. I think you're thinking about some radical people.
with the Will Smith issue, they realize there is a disparity here in the way men are being dealt with versus women are being dealt with. But
what is this last point? I don't even understand. Like, okay, if he had slapped a woman, he would have been condemned. Okay, well, he's also being condemned right now.
Once again, if that disparity exists, why not cater for it in social and political life?
Are you saying he would have been condemned more?
So going back to the point, Will Smith, look, Your
Okay.
problem is less about Jada Smith. It's not, you cannot, that's hopefully that's her name, yeah? It's not about that woman. It's more to do with you, bro. Do you know why? Because you haven't chosen a path for yourself. You haven't chosen a
See, I knew it. He's gonna spin it at the very end, that in a way to like, I have the solution for your problems.
path for
I
yourself in
think.
relation to morality, in relation to ideology, in relation to what is the purpose of life. These questions have not been answered by you. I'm not going to give you the answers to these questions right now. It's not the time and place for it. But what I am going to say,
Oh my god! Oh my god! I called it. He's like, I have the answers. I have the answers, but I'm not gonna give it to you right now. Maybe like this is like, come talk to me.
say to you, bro, is that once you remove that cognitive dissonance, which you may have, I'm not diagnosing you, yeah, but you may have, I'm just putting it out there, and you start thinking about, you know what, if these are the principles, familial and domestic and so on, principles that I put and live my life with, then I'm gonna follow it through to its logical conclusion. Because why should you, yeah, have to offer an additional protective role to a woman who doesn't believe that it's her right to have it? In fact,
Yeah.
maybe insulting on her paradigm for you to offer such a role. Why should you do that?
Yeah, there's inconsistency between your actions and your ideology. It's because you haven't thought these things through. There are answers to all of this, and it's called Islam. But I'm not going to tell you right that, because that might scare you, and you might not talk to me. I'm just going to let you know that there's answers to all of this.
It makes no sense.
Yeah.
And with that, I conclude. Goodbye.
I think I did very good. I think I did very good when it comes to predicting these things.